Ever feel like your WordPress site is moving in slow motion? Switch to Kinsta's managed hosting for WordPress and watch it fly. Host your site on Google Cloud's fastest servers with worldwide data centers so your pages load instantly. Need help? WordPress experts respond in under 2 minutes and will migrate to your site for free. Try it yourself. First month free at kinsta.com. That's KINSTA.com. Kinsta. Simply better hosting.
Get ready. Wayfair's biggest sale of the season is almost here. It's Black Friday in July, and it's coming your way. For 5 days only, score up to 80% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus amazing doorbuster deals and free shipping on everything. Yes, everything, right to your door. So mark your calendars. Wayfair's Black Friday and July sale starts July 24th. Shop everything home at wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Welcome to the Dogs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Justin Charles, and Josh All.
What's up, Browns fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Dogs Podcast presented by Manly Bands, coming to you virtually on an early Saturday morning. So if we all look a little bit fuzzy-eyed and we sound a little bit silly, I've been saying silly a lot this morning because it's Saturday morning with the daughter. It's because we just woke up not that long ago and we decided to crank out an episode for you guys as we head into training camp week. We got training camp later this week, obviously, and we wanted to give you guys some of our thoughts, what we're looking for from a rookie, a free agent, and a veteran each. So we got some good stuff for you. Before we do, though, remember, if you want to get intros and voicemails on the show, head to thedogspodcast.com, tap leave voicemail in the drop-down menu. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Make sure you tap the notification bell so you don't miss any of the content we're putting out. You can listen to the show on Apple and Spotify. I remembered not to say Google, which is crazy because I haven't done an episode now in like a week and a half. So my opening, I feel all out of sorts. I'm just winging it off the top of my head. But look at me go. I guess that's why I'm a professional. What was it? You can find us on all the major social media platforms. I got way too off topic. Just search at the Dogs Podcast. And then if you want extra Dogs content, do we have room in our fantasy leagues or are they all full?
Nope, we got room. Sign up. Get in there, guys.
We still got some room. So I think you got like another week or 2 weeks to get signed up. So if you want to play fantasy football with us, head to the jointhedogs.com, become an official Dog Pack member on the Patreon page. You get to play fantasy football with us. You get access to the private Discord. You just get to hang out with Browns fans from all over the world. It's a good time for everybody involved. So again, that's jointhedogs.com. Get in there. Don't miss out. Have a chance to lose to us at fantasy football this year. So you got some reigning champions to contend with on this show. So we take it pretty serious. So it's a good time. But again, happy to be here. Training camp later this week. Obviously, one player won't be there. I know you guys already covered that. Just unbelievable. That had a
thoughts?
Huge.
Yeah.
This is one of those things where, like, I know I think he was charged with a misdemeanor and stuff. So like, even if he's found guilty and whatnot, like his suspension, it'll probably be like what Mike Hall got or something, and then he'll be back and he'll probably be able to play this year. But I'm wrestling with the fact, like, I don't even know, like, if the Browns should even sign him, because I don't want to just say I'm not a guilty until proven innocent guy, but she took pictures right after, and the cop said she was still bruised up 5 days. If she's still bruised up 5 days later, what did she look like immediately after it happened? I mean, it's pretty apparent that he hit her a bunch of times. And if that's the case, like, I just don't even want that guy on my team. So, I would, even if it's just a short suspension, he'll be back, and like, just don't sign him. Like, I don't want a guy who beats up a girlfriend on my team, really. So
We've got a couple of them, unfortunately.
I know. Apparently, I mean, the league's littered with them. So I guess, like, but just me personally, like, it'll take a while, I guess, to be like, forget it, and you probably shouldn't forget it that he beats up women. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the side, like, we've dealt with enough of these issues the last couple of years that you're not committed to him. You don't have any money invested into him. The biggest thing you have invested into him right now is it being the second round pick. It's just, it sucks, but just save some face and just let him be somebody else's problem. Like, we don't need to be another reclamation project for somebody. I just don't feel like dealing with that anymore. So it's a stupid decision. I mean, how stupid do you have to be? How hard is it to just not hit a woman? Like, I don't understand how hard it is to just not do it. So
yeah, I mean, it just doesn't matter really how mad you are. I mean, just punch the steering wheel, punch the car, kick the tires. Don't punch her. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't know, man.
I don't get it. So, but yeah, so I don't know. It's terrible, and it completely changes, I don't want to say like my entire outlook for this season, but a lot of like the little bit of positivity I had on the season banked on him being like a new stud workhorse running back for us. And now that that's gone, it's like, based on who knows what we're going to get at quarterback. And I felt so much of what he was going to bring to the team was going to help whoever was going to be playing quarterback. And it's a domino effect now that, to me, it sets the Browns back like almost more than I can even put into words, because I just think it's a huge domino. I'm not overly optimistic, and I don't feel good about it. That's for sure.
Well, I've seen a lot of people already attacking the trade, because Andrew Berry and the Browns traded that number 2 pick with the Jaguars, collected some extra draft capital, and some of that, one piece of that trade was Quinshon Judkins, the 36th overall pick from the Jaguars. So, yeah, it's just not a good start to the whole thing.
And this is one of those things, too, where at least in the case of Quinshon, like, as far as I know, no red flags. Like, as far as I know, no problems at Ohio State, no issues. Like with Mike Hall, after he got in trouble, we were all surprised. And then you found out, like, oh, no, this kind of stuff was happening at college all the time. They should have known about this kind of stuff. With Quinshon, it's hard to put it on AB and the Browns. It's like it's kind of came out of left field. But at the same time, it's like, man, are we just that bad at judge character? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And so it's super frustrating. I mean, like if you take the trade into account, if Travis Hunter goes on to just be an absolute stud, and Quinshon Judkins isn't on our team, and if we whiff on whatever we use with the pick next year, it's like it's a Julio Jones trade all over again.
Yep.
So, and I was all cool with the trade, especially once we got Quinshon's the guy Kenny Mack was banging the drum for all offseason. I was team Travion, but like obviously I was still very pro Quinshon Judkins, and I was super pumped when we got him. And then for this to happen, it's just a huge kick in the nuts. Like, it's awful.
Yeah.
So,
well, and then on top of that, I think it was yesterday, all the information came out. Devin Bush charged with misdemeanor simple assault and harassment for his domestic violence situation outside of Pittsburgh, which happened in, what was that, like March? Something like that? April-ish?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Maybe different, I don't know. How hard is it to just not hit a female? How hard is it?
I shouldn't laugh, but it's like a very simple question.
It should be the simplest thing in your life. Like, we're all married. I'm sure our wives have all annoyed us at some point. I've never even had the slightest inclination to hit her. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't understand this just hitting women thing. It's crazy.
No, but I mean, you've got, you got people like Tyreek Hill who had, the situation with his kid, and Adrian Peters. Like, there's just been all these, whether it's a wife or a girlfriend or a child or just another, Alvin Kamara and the dude in Las Vegas. Like, these guys, there's definitely some anger, rage, violence issues. And when it comes out, it just comes out.
Well, let's keep it in, people. Jesus.
Keep it on the field.
Yeah. So we wanted to kind of, I guess that's my quick thoughts on that, since I missed last week. It was a busy week for me. But we wanted to kind of give you a little bit of training camp insight, at least from our brains. So we each picked a rookie to watch in training camp, a free agent to watch, and a veteran that we are all watching. So who wants to go first? Justin, you haven't talked yet, so why don't we just start with you? Bro. Who's the rookie that you're watching in training camp this year?
My rookie going into training camp, I think it's going to be a lot of people's main guy they're going to be watching. It's going to be Shedeur Sanders. We need an answer at quarterback. We've got to figure out our future. We've been trying for, God knows, 25 years now to figure it out. So for me, he's the guy. You could even throw Dylan Gabriel in the mix. I am very, very hyper-focused on the rookie quarterbacks. Let's figure out what our future is. We have a first-round pick next year that everybody pretty much has said, hey, this is who we're taking at quarterback. If that's the case, and we traded back to get all these picks and to get that pick, then why do we take 2 rookies this year? Like I'd like some clarity on that. So my hope is that one of these 2 dudes can be the guy moving forward, and then you address the multiple issues that you have at offensive line, safety, wide receiver, maybe running back now again. So it's not like we couldn't use that extra first round pick for other things. But I'm very, very focused on whether we have an answer at quarterback, the most important position in the game.
Yeah,
I agree. Go ahead, Josh.
I talked to Damon Wolf from that In Motion Football the other day, Justin, and
yes.
we talked about the rookie quarterbacks, and he said from his evaluation, first of all, he does a lot of draft scouting and that kind of stuff, analysis. He said Shedeur Sanders was easily his number 2 quarterback. He was number 27 player overall in the draft class. He said whenever they took Gabriel, he saw that as the Browns saying, okay, we got a guy that fits the system, fits what Kevin wants. He's very cerebral. He's the type of player they want in the quarterback room. If he develops into a starter, great. But their hope for him was probably long-term backup. Just solidify the backup position. And then when Shedeur was there in the 5th round, it was like, well, we can't just keep passing this up. We got to swing on it. So I think that's what he said anyway, was his assessment on how it came to be that we got both these guys.
Right.
So here's my question. If he's thinking that their thought process was long-term backup, why are we addressing long-term backup before we're addressing starter? You know what I mean? Like, why is our focus like, let's get out of this draft with a backup, a long-term solution at backup? Who he's backing up, nobody knows. So which means he'll probably just get forced into being a starter, having his confidence killed, getting injured, and then be ruined, and then he won't be the long-term backup. Like, what are we doing if that's really the thought process?
If it's anything, like my entire life watching this team, the backup quarterback is probably the most important position you could have on this team. You're definitely going to see playing time. Without a doubt, Hell, you could be the 4th quarterback and you're probably going to see playing time.
No kidding. I mean, Blake's right, too, because we do this all the time. Like Cody Kessler and, all these guys that we've drafted years and years over, it seems like they're backup quarterbacks that get thrust into the starting spot. My only thing, though, with why they would address that position and not the starters, they didn't believe there was a starter worth taking in this draft. That's the only explanation I can think of.
It's fair. I mean, that makes sense. And especially if once you hear like, oh, well, the extra 2026 first round is going to be for a quarterback. You've heard that kind of leaked out a couple of times. It makes sense, but I don't know. I would like to give that kid a shot. You know what I mean? Everybody thought he was first round, second round talent. He slid to the 5th. My opinion is you're getting a steal. You're getting a chance where you can save your salary cap basically with 2 rookie quarterbacks, on your team that you drafted. I pray that we have an opportunity to see this kid play because, I really do. There's flashes. You see flashes where you're like, there's something there. I just would like to be proven wrong on it.
No, I agree. I think Shedeur's going to be the guy. But I'm also very nervous that the Browns are going to screw it up. You know what I mean? And if they really viewed the Dylan Gabriel as a long-term backup solution, then to me that undermines the argument of, well, they're going to give Dylan Gabriel every chance to win the job and be the guy. Because if they didn't take him with the intention to be the guy, then you'd be like, well, let's see if Shedeur can be the guy. You know what I mean? Like, to me, if the plan was never for Dylan Gabriel to be the starter, if they view him as a long-term backup, then why would you take reps away from the guy who, by all accounts, is a better quarterback? There's nobody on the planet who thought Dylan Gabriel was a better quarterback than Shedeur Sanders. So don't take reps from that guy to give to the guy that you viewed as a backup in the first place. So
or just don't draft Shedeur. If you know what I mean, like it's sometimes the draft night, we kind of were like, man, this is all over the place. The more I think of it, I like the draft still, but I'm like, man, sometimes I feel like it just kind of gets a little chaotic. And then
I'm fine with taking 2 quarterbacks. I wanted them to do that basically since last year. But I figured they would take one at 2 and
just not this order.
Round 5. Yeah. So what about you, Josh?
Well, real quick, this is something I just want to throw this in there. Me and Justin have talked about this. I've asked people on social media their opinion on this just to kind of gauge where the fan base is at and what people are thinking. What's our confidence level in this coaching staff and this front office and this just Browns regime right now in evaluating the quarterback position during training camp for the season? Like, do we think they come out of training camp with the correct best quarterback at the top of the depth chart and the correct worst quarterback at the bottom? I'm worried, like you just said, Blake, that they're going to screw it up. That even if Shedeur is the best guy, I don't know if they will see it properly.
So here's my thing: is if he is the best guy, I guess I don't necessarily need him to start week 1 because if they think he's potentially the future, don't just throw him to the wolves. You know what I mean? Like Patrick Mahomes was clearly the best quarterback on the Chiefs roster, and he still sat for a year. So, but you got to at least make sure you're properly evaluating him so you know, like, okay, he's not going to start week 1, but we're probably going to move to Shedeur at some point in the season and see some live game action. But you can't just stick him as water boy in practice. You know what I mean? And get a proper evaluation like that. So that's why it's at least encouraging during like the OTAs and stuff that he was working on a separate field and still getting reps and not just being a backup water boy out there. Because I don't necessarily, if one of the rookies they deem is the clear option, the best quarterback they think he's going to be the future, I don't necessarily, even though I would like for them to start week 1, just in terms of me watching, but I understand why you wouldn't just throw that guy to the wolves, especially the beginning of our schedule is brutal. So I wouldn't. I guess who finishes week 1, I don't think, or is the starter week 1. I don't know if it matters as much. To be honest, I don't think we're winning freaking hardly any games anyways. So, like at this point, this season is basically evaluating and make sure you're doing a proper job evaluating. So, to answer your question, I don't know if the best guy is going to start week 1 or not. I have a feeling it's going to be Joe or Kenny, and I think if all things are equal, at the end of the season, Shedeur's our best quarterback. Maybe he isn't yet, but I think he has the best tools, and he's not 48 years old. So, so we'll see what happens in that regard. But I don't think the week 1 starter necessarily means best quarterback on the roster. Yeah, and I guess when I say like top of the depth chart, I know I was talking QB1, but even like QB2, do they properly evaluate and have the correct? Basically, are they coming out of this with the 2 rookies correctly evaluated? And I just don't know. Because this is the team that also said DTR is ready to be QB2 as a rookie. He's ready to start. He's ready to be this. And it's like, no, he's never going to be ready to play in the NFL. That when they traded Dobbs. Yes. We all hated it. And we talked ourselves into why it was okay. And then it came back. Now, I think the huge difference between that season and this season was season expectations. Like, we were like, we're Super Bowl contenders. We don't want our backup to be a rookie, never played quarterback. This year, it doesn't matter who our backup quarterback is. You know what I mean? Even with the starting quarterback, I don't see us winning many games. So your expectations for the season, I think, strongly dictate kind of the order in which you're going to place those quarterbacks. I guess the bigger question for me would be at the end of training camp, who are the 3 quarterbacks that we keep and who's going to be the odd one out that is on a different team? That's fair. That is definitely a big question for the next month. This episode is sponsored by Manly Bands. Browns fans, head over to manlybands.com/dogs right now to get 30% off site-wide for the founder's favorite sale. The founder, John, it's his birthday, and they want to celebrate the manliest way possible by putting his favorite rings on sale. And why?
Well, I guess apparently nothing says happy birthday to John like giving a discount to you. Plus, use code CAMP25, CAMP25 to get an extra $25 off your order. So check out all the manly rings and things that manlybands.com has to offer. They've got chains, they've got groomsmen gifts, they've got barware, they've got all kinds of stuff along with the manliest wedding bands you're ever going to find. Awesome stuff. Awesome materials, awesome designs. You've heard me talk about it forever, but if you haven't actually gone and checked it out, now is the time to do it. 30% off site-wide for the founders, favorites, sale at manlybands.com/dogs, and use promo code CAMP25 for an extra $25 off your order.
Since 1989, Mount Hope Fence has set the standard in outdoor living. From decks and railings to fences and patios, we've got you covered. Our lineup features top brands like TimberTech, AlumaGuard, Preferred Railing, and Unilock, along with our own premium Duralux vinyl products. For over 30 years, we've partnered with contractors ensuring reliable job site delivery. Discover quality and excellence in all things outdoors with Mount Hope Fence.
Josh, what about you?
Okay.
What rookie are you watching?
Okay, so I went with a UDFA, so not a guy that we drafted, because going to the draft, when we talked about, hey, we took the 2 quarterbacks, well, there was opportunity cost with doing that. There was a safety on the board, Xavier Watts, that I really wanted the Browns to take when they took Dylan Gabriel. There were other guys on the board when we, in the 5th round, traded up for Shador. So we just completely bypassed safety altogether, but we signed Donovan McMillan out of Pitt. 6'1", 197, he's 23 years old. He started off college 2 seasons at Florida in a reserve role. Then he transferred to Pitt in 2023. And when he got to Pitt, he had 100-plus tackles in both of his seasons there. He had a TFL in each season, plus last year in 24, he had his first interception. So the reasons why I wanted to talk about Donovan McMillan, one, I considered doing Harold Fannin Jr. here, but we've talked about him a ton in the last couple months, so I don't want to keep repeating that stuff. 2, the safety position is probably our weakest position on defense. It's definitely the most shallow in terms of like proven starting talent. Grant Delpit obviously is a lock. He's a stud. We like Ronnie Hickman, but I don't know, like, is he ready to step into a full-time starter role? I like what they did with the depth signings. They got DeMonte Kazi and Rayshawn Jenkins, but you know, having a UDFA again at safety is interesting to me because Andrew Berry, the front office, they just have a track record of finding some hidden gems at this position. We know going into like the last couple of seasons, they usually keep 5 safeties. So can McMillan be the next UDFA to crack the roster after they had D'Anthony Bell a few years ago and then Ronnie Hickman?
No, it's good.
Especially because they let D'Anthony Bell walk. So if they let him walk and then you can replace him with another UDFA, that's intriguing. I was sad to see D'Anthony Bell go.
Oh, for sure. But this guy is kind of what D'Anthony Bell was coming in as a UDFA as well. He's a great tackler. He's very physical. He's got a lot of refinement to work as far as like his coverage skills and things like that, but he's a UDFA. And he played pretty well, and the 100-plus tackles in the last 2 seasons really popped off the page to me because that means he's coming in, he's not missing a lot of tackles. When he gets an opportunity to put a guy on the ground, he's doing it.
Yep.
It means
special teams.
Defensive line and linebackers aren't making many tackles.
Yeah. True.
What about? So it's my turn now.
Yeah.
I almost said, what about Justin? So the rookie I'm watching now, this has changed because of recent events. I'm going Dylan Sampson. I think a huge part of this offense is going to be getting back to the run game and the way we used to implement it with Nick Chubb and before we had Ken Dorsey. And I thought a huge linchpin of that was going to be Quinshon Judkins. And I was extremely excited to not have to watch Jerome Ford carry the load for the Browns. So now I'm shifting my focus to Dylan Sampson, who I think a lot of people is kind of where we got him. It was kind of a steal in this draft. So I want to see what he looks like in camp. Does he have the ability to be a workhorse back for us? How's his pass blocking? Can he be a 3-down back for us? Because I don't want Jerome Ford to be that. If Jerome Ford is our day one starting 3-down running back, offense is in trouble again, in my opinion. And I think it was the Bearded Browns guys put out a stat that said if Jerome Ford wasn't hitting the backfield, he averaged, I think, like 7.3 yards per carry last year, which was second only to Derrick Henry. The problem is this is the NFL. You get hit in the backfield sometimes. You know what I mean? And you got it. And a lot of times, if he got hit in the backfield, I won't say a decent amount of times, is because he's just pussyfooting around. He can't find the hole, and he's doesn't know where to go, and he's indecisive. So then, of course, he gets hit in the backfield. So I'm interested in seeing if Dylan Sampson can now step in and be the guy in the run game for the Browns, because I've watched enough Jerome Ford. And then after Jerome Ford, what is it, Pierre Strong? Like, if Quinshon's suspended, you got it. We're going to go get another running back, right?
Yeah.
And
yes.
Who's even out there?
I said the two that came to my head immediately were Zeke and Gus Edwards.
Yep.
Those were the two that popped right into my head, where I was like, they're out there,
Zeke, man, he didn't got much left in the tank.
No, and Gus Edwards doesn't either.
He's a great pass blocker, and he's kind of turned into like a decent goal line back, but he's not going to give you much else in terms of explosive plays, which I guess if he could come in and kind of be your battering ram, and then Sampson can kind of be your home run threat. But talk about just a turn of events to go from like, holy crap, this Browns backfield is dynamic again. Like, we're back to having prime Chubb and just out of prime Kareem Hunt. Like, this is going to be exciting to, oh man, hopefully Gus Edwards or Zeke Elliott can come in and average 2.9 yards a carry for us. Like, come on, just don't hit me. God.
I know.
I'll say this. I do think Sampson can be he can be nice for us. Last year with Tennessee, the dude was a stud. He had almost 300 carries. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's not a doubt of like whether he can do it. I think he can absolutely do it, and he's absolutely dynamic enough to do it. My problem was you had Judkins in front of him. We didn't need to see it. I think there's a chance you're going to see it now, because I think Judkins is going to be cooked for 5 games, at least.
At least. I mean, they haven't even signed him, and now the reports are like they're not even to sign him.
Yeah, they said
basically,
stay home.
They're going to let this kind of figure itself out. And I have a feeling like if it turns out, if this investigation shows like there's a history of this wasn't a one-off, like I'm just kind of getting the sense from the Browns like that they're thinking like me, like we can't sign another guy like this right now, especially we're not already money committed to him. So like if this investigation turns out and there's a history and it's ugly, I don't even know if he's ever going to put on a Browns uniform in a regular season, which is just
what's crazy too is, he was holding out. The reason he wasn't signed was the same reason 30 out of the 32 second-round picks weren't signed yet, because they were all holding out for fully guaranteed contracts, which the Browns were one of the only 2 teams to do that with Carson Schweschinger. And then Judkins was with the other guys just kind of holding out for that. Travion Henderson, who went, a pick or 2 after Judkins or something like that, just got his deal fully guaranteed the other day. So if Judkins would have not had this situation, reported to camp yesterday with all the other rookies, he 99% likely would have had a fully guaranteed second-round contract.
It just
sucks.
Yep.
Yeah.
It sucks.
And I just like to remind everybody that I was the guy who's saying we should draft Travion Henderson.
You can't do that. You can't Monday morning quarterback that crap, bro.
Is it Monday morning quarterback? I mean, there's a lot of video evidence of me saying I was Team Travion.
It's fair. It's fair.
All right. So why don't we then move into free agent, Justin? Let's go back to you. What free agent are you watching for the Browns?
I got to know what we have with Deontay Johnson. He's a guy, and now this is all dependent on quarterback play also. You know what I mean? Like whether we have competent quarterback play. He's a guy that, he kind of was a nightmare for us, when we was with Pittsburgh for years. Yeah, he was very dependable. We have glaring holes at wide receiver. There's not really any depth behind Jerry Jeudy. And then, if you want to throw Tillman in also, if you think, he's a solid option at wide receiver too, behind that, it's not good. There's not a lot. You got a lot of injury prone guys. You've got a lot of guys that haven't proven anything. And then you have rookies that haven't really proven it. Jamar Thrash. If Deontay Johnson can show up in a good headspace and be a dependable, like let's say wide receiver 3 or wide receiver 2, and be just a decent shell of himself that he was 2 years ago, or even the first 4 games of last year with Carolina, he could be a factor for this team. We have Njoku, we have Jeudy, and then after that, it's what do we have? there's touches to be had out there if he can be the guy, and I think that he could absolutely be a wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 on this team.
No, I think I said like a month or so ago that if his head's on straight and he's locked in, he could be the steal of free agency.
Yeah,
depending on the quarterback play we get, obviously. The fact that we got him league vet minimum.
Yep.
You know, and no guaranteed money really. Like we could just cut bait if he's not in. It's one of those things where, like you said, he's kind of a nightmare for us. He's a great route runner, separation guy. Like he's open a lot if his drops are under control, and even if he drops the ball like at the rate that he has in his career, he still put up numbers.
Yeah,
the drops are frustrating, but he still has put up good numbers. The touchdowns lack, but yet bad quarterback play in Pittsburgh also, and just bad offense in general. So to me, like he could be a huge difference for this offense being what it was last year, or kind of taking a step in the right direction, at least with some explosive plays. So I think that's a good one.
Yeah, one thing with Deontay Johnson, I just want to remind everybody, I found these stats, put this out on social media a couple weeks ago, I think. And I know we're kind of guilty of doing this over the last couple months, talking about these receivers and kind of put Deontay Johnson in the slot. But I went and looked over his career. Only 14% of his career routes have been run out of the slot. He's an 86% out wide guy. He's an outside receiver. Actually, Jerry Jeudy is our closest receiver to being 50-50 splits. So this could be where, if we're running a 3 wide receiver set, which might not be that much this year, you're going to have Tillman and Deontay Johnson on the outsides with Jerry Jeudy in the slot, because that's where he can kind of move in and out of there too.
Yeah, and your slot guys, I mean, Judy's just such a good route runner.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So you put him up again in the slot, working on safeties and linebackers, he's going to cook them every time.
Yep.
So
between client meetings, managing your business, and everyday tasks, who has time to worry about website hosting? With Kinsta's managed WordPress hosting, you don't have to. They handle the technical stuff, delivering lightning-fast load times, enterprise-grade security, and 24/7 365 human-only support. Simply switching to Kinsta could make your site up to 200% faster. Kinsta's custom dashboard makes managing sites easy, with powerful features designed to save you time and effort. Plus, their free expert-led migrations ensure a smooth transition. Ready to see why Kinsta is trusted by thousands of businesses? Get your first month free at Kinsta.com. That's KINSTA.com. Kinsta. Simply better hosting.
At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams July Summer Sale and get 30% off paints and stains July 18th through the 28th. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your interior or exterior, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store or shop the sale online. Delivery available on qualifying orders. Click the banner to learn more. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
This episode is sponsored by Omaha Steaks. Well, Browns fans, it feels like you really got to dodge the rain this summer, but whenever you get those sunny days, there ain't nothing better than getting outside and firing up the grill. And right now, summer is hot, and so are the deals from Omaha Steaks during the Blazing Hot Sale with 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, our listeners get an extra $45 off with promo code BARK, B-A-R-K, at checkout. You guys know I've been ordering Omaha Steaks for my summer cookouts for years now, and the quality never disappoints. You got to try the fan favorite filet mignon. It's earned the coveted distinction of USDA certified tender. And guys, get the all-new smash burgers. Built for the grill, they are amazing. So make your summer sizzle with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their Blazing Hot Sale. And for that extra $45 off, use promo code BARK at checkout. That's 50% off at omahasteaks.com and an extra $45 off with promo code BARK at checkout. See site for details.
all right, what about you, Josh?
All right, so my free agent signing to watch is Tevin Jenkins, the backup offensive guard that we signed. And he's 27 years old. This is his 5th season, so he played his entire rookie contract with the Chicago Bears, who they took in the 2nd round in 2021. Over his time there, he played both tackle and guard for the Bears. He started actually at left tackle as a rookie. Then they moved him to guard in his second season. He started 11 games at right guard before he had an injury, got placed on IR. The following season, moved to left guard. He missed the start of that season with a calf injury, but then he started 16 games last year for the Bears, 738 total snaps, 595 pass blocking snaps, and he allowed only 17 pressures and only 4 sacks all season. And if you remember from last year, Caleb Williams took a ton of sacks. So pretty impressive.
I'm pretty sure.
What's that, 60? Yeah.
68, which is
68. Yeah. Only Deshaun Watson was on pace to have more, I think, than Caleb Williams.
That's incredible.
Let's see. Last 3 seasons, Tevin Jenkins had a PFF grade of 80.7, 72.6, 75.4. And he also grades out very well in the run blocking game, which is crucial for what the Browns want to do, getting back to Kevin Stefanski's offense. So I've been saying this all offseason. I don't know, maybe I'm way off base, but to me personally, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Browns either extend Jenkins at some point during the season, because they only signed him to a 1-year, $2.3 million deal, or they make him a high priority re-signing next offseason if, they should move on from Teller or Bitonio decides to retire. But either way, it could be an interior at guard of Zach Zinter and Tevin Jenkins moving forward starting in 2026.
I'm with you on that, man.
I like
that. No, go ahead, Blake.
I was just going to say, I really like what the Browns did with some of their O-line depth. Like we talked about, their free agent signings this year weren't necessarily super splashy. They were kind of bargain bin shopping, but they pulled out some nice. It's like they weren't bargain bin shopping; they were thrift shopping.
Yeah,
they didn't have a huge budget, but they found some nice pieces. Because the tackle that we got out of Washington, I think, is a nice depth piece. I forget. Jenkins is a good depth piece, so we're not throwing out James Hudson and then other, practice squad guys out there. We got legitimate NFL players out there for some depth.
Yeah, Tevin Jenkins. he was a starter, and a lot of people, bless you. And a lot of people assumed he was going to sign with somebody this offseason to be a starter. So there was a lot of surprise whenever he signed with Cleveland to not have a starting role. And then Cornelius Lucas, like you alluded to from Washington, he's a guy who's also started many games over his career at both left and right tackle. So yeah, the depth is proven depth this year, and thank God it's not James Hudson and those guys anymore. Good Lord.
And if history repeats, we're going to see probably all these guys. And
correct.
By first month of the season, we're going to see a decent amount of these guys. I'm not being negative, but honestly, if you look at the line,
being realistic,
Bitonio, I would be shocked if he doesn't retire at the end of the year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Wyatt Teller's always a trade rumor. We're counting a lot on DeJuan Jones. There's a lot going on.
Teller's very movable. Yeah. Very movable after this season, I believe.
Which sucks because I love Wyatt Teller.
Yeah,
me too.
And his wife sends us Christmas cards, so
she's awesome too.
Yeah. So then for me, the free agent I am watching this year is Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, edge rusher. And the reason I went with this guy is because I thought maybe I had a boogie in my beard.
Jesus, bro.
That was quite the sneeze. So the is we didn't address edge rusher in the draft. Abdul Carter was there. We traded Zadarius Smith last year. We released Ogbo this year. And so obviously Alex Wright, Isaiah McGuire, and now JTS. I want to see if one of these guys is going to step up at that edge rusher position opposite Myles Garrett. I think a lot of us are intrigued by Alex Wright. He seemed like he was coming on last year. Isaiah McGuire flashed a little bit, and I'm hearing good things about JTS from the voluntary camps and stuff like that. So even if we don't replace, we don't have another Zadarius. We've always kind of had like a one guy opposite Myles where it was Olivier Vernon, Zadarius Smith, Jadeveon Clowney. Maybe this year it's with like 3 guys who maybe are all 3 just have slightly different games, but on like a rotational basis, they can make like a really good complement opposite Myles on the other side. So I'm interested to see if he continues his performance from the OTAs into the mini camp or into training camp, see what we have in him as we're entering the season.
I'm very excited to see what this guy can do. He was a former first-round pick out of Atlanta, and by all accounts was just not utilized properly for his skill set on the defensive scheme there with the Falcons. And like you said, the reports coming out, it's like this dude in Jim Schwartz's wide nine is going to be something.
It would be nice. Imagine a little diamond in the rough,
Yes.
So I'm interested to see what we got there. All right, back to you, Justin. Veteran. This is the fun one. We got to pick people who have been on the Browns now. Who are you watching this year, veteran-wise for the Browns?
So for me, I'm going back to wide receiver. I'm going to wide receiver Cedric Tillman. When he was a rookie, we got to go up to training camp, and we were probably like 5 feet from this dude. This is a big kid. He's a big, big dude. He finally got his opportunity last year, and he kind of flashed for those 3 games. He had that game winner against, I believe it was Baltimore. And he just kind of went on that little 3-4 game tear where he was like, man, this dude might be the wide receiver one. Forget about Jerry Jeudy. It might be Cedric Tillman. And then obviously just the concussion just derailed the whole end of his season. And injuries in general have kind of derailed him and opportunities. If this dude can stay healthy and we get, once again, just competent quarterback play, big factor there, that competent quarterback play. I really, really like Cedric Tillman a lot. If we can keep him on the field, I think he could be a legit weapon for us. Just, we got to keep him healthy. But man, I love the little 4-game stretch with him where he looked like he was going to be the guy for us.
No, I think that's a good person to watch. Is he out of, is he good to go? Do we know? Because
I'm not sure. Okay.
He came back and practiced, I think, the last day of minicamp before they ended. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so I'm so nervous about him. That concussion seemed like it lingered so long that it's one of those things where it's like, is he his first catch in getting tackled away from being in concussion protocol again?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That makes me very nervous.
How much of that was the state of the team and the record, and we just weren't playing for anything? And they said, why even? If you have any lingering, even tiny lingering effects, like if we were in contention, could he have come back and been okay? Maybe. I have no idea. But I keep considering that too. Like, we just sucked last year, and maybe they said it's not even worth risking another concussion. Let's just keep you out. I don't know.
Or if they throw him out there and, he tears his ACL, like week 16 or something. Well, I'm just saying week 16 of last year. You know what I mean? Of last year. And then you've lost him for this year, basically. Or a good portion of this year. So I get that. It makes complete sense from a just common sense standpoint. We were dog shit last year.
No, I agree. There's a chance that happened. What about you, Josh? What veteran are you watching?
So I'm watching one of my favorite guys on this team. I mean, through his first 2 years on the roster here in Cleveland, we thought we have found a long-term answer at the position. He is a stud in the making. He's going to be a perennial Pro Bowler. And last year there was a huge drop off. So unfortunately, year 4 is going to be make or break for Martin Emerson Jr.
Yes.
I think this is he's 24 years old, final year of his rookie deal. So they need to make a decision during the season, probably, if they want to extend him. Because if he hits free agency after this season and we don't extend him, he's going to get signed by somebody. Yeah. Somebody's going to come strong after him, especially if he even has a decent season this year. Because the first 2 years were so good. And last year in 24, he played all 17 games. He actually had 80 tackles, which is kind of crazy for a cornerback, I believe. He had 3 TFLs, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery. That was his best season in the tackling department, but it was clearly his worst season in coverage. He had just 5 pass breakups, and he had, after having 15 as a rookie and then 16 the year after that. So a huge drop off in the coverage. 4 picks in 2023, not a single one last year. And then just kind of going through, he had a 72.5 PFF grade and has a rookie, a 63.2 in his second season, and last year it dropped down to 47.9. He gave up 52 receptions for 604 yards, 6 touchdowns. He'd only given up 5 total touchdowns in the 2 years prior. So last year was really bad for Martin Emerson in the secondary, but I think he's a stud. I think last year was the anomaly in his career, and I think he gets back to being that fringe Pro Bowler that we thought he was in 2023.
Well, I think so much of our DB success hinges on our defensive line. We put them out there on an island so much that almost outside of Denzel Ward, almost anybody's going to look like burnt toast if we don't get home. And I feel like our pass rush last year. It was not the same as it was 2 years ago. So I think that's a big thing. But then at the same time, it's like, is he a good cover corner, or we're in his first, his rookie year and his second year where we just putting so much pressure on the quarterback that he didn't even really have to cover anybody. So I guess we'll find out this year. I'm like you. I think he has a chance to have a good bounce back season, because that rookie season, especially his rookie season, like, oh my God, it was like, this guy might be our cornerback one. Like, if Denzel Ward can't stay healthy, this guy might be cornerback one. And then last year, it's like, what happened? This guy, he looks like toast out there.
Well, keep in mind too, bro, the defense last year, they were on the field the entire game.
Yeah.
They really, it was pretty much just them and them only out there for playing time.
This is true.
Yeah, so a lot more opportunities for quarterbacks to throw his direction, and for him to be tired, or, more opportunities to be out of position on a play, or whatever the situation might be. You're absolutely right. This episode is sponsored by ISSA. Browns fans, if you're into health and fitness, have you ever wondered how you could maybe turn those hobbies and your passion into an actual career? If that sounds interesting to you, then ISSA has the opportunity you've been looking for. ISSA is the International Sports Science Association, and they can help you become a certified personal trainer in as little as 3 months. And right now you can get $100 off your certification when you sign up through our link, joinissa.com/dogs, DAWGS. Now, certifications are 100% online, self-study, and self-paced. You can study anywhere from your phone, tablet, or computer. And the final exam is open note, open book, aka piece of cake. Except you fitness nuts probably don't eat a ton of cake, so let's just call it a piece of delicious protein bar. And ISSA has the #1 job guarantee in the industry. If you get certified and sign up to be a certified trainer with ISSA, you have a job guarantee or your money back. ISSA has over 10,000 gym partners that have over 73,000 open jobs for trainers right now. And you don't need a 4-year degree or a 2-year degree. You just need your certification to qualify for these jobs. So what are you waiting for? With certification this simple, there's no excuse not to pursue your passion and become a certified personal trainer today. Get $100 off your certification at joinissa.com/dogs. You've wanted to make a change long enough. Now it's time to do something about it. That's joinissa.com/dogs for $100 off your personal trainer certification.
So that brings it to me. We'll wrap it up here. The veteran I am watching is Deshaun Jones. He's going to make the switch to full-time left tackle this year. Another position we didn't address in the draft. They're kind of putting all their eggs in one basket here. How is he coming in shape? Is he mentally ready? Has he been practicing, like, technique wise? Can he be the left tackle of the future, or was this a giant mistake? Because based on everything we saw of him last year, once he came back from the injury, it was like, this guy can't play left tackle, because he couldn't play right tackle. It was bad, but he came back out of shape after being injured. It's tough for a bigger guy to work out when you're hurt. I understand that. So I'm watching for him. How does he look? What are there going to be the reports out of training camp? How he's handling this full-time transition to left tackle? Because so much of this running game, so much of the competent quarterback play that we keep talking about hinges on his ability to anchor that left side of the defense or offensive line. So I'm watching Deshaun Jones in training camp. I'm listening for reports about him, because if I'm hearing reports that he's struggling, I'm nervous already. If he's struggling in training camp, like that's an issue.
A lot of the insiders said he already came in like 40 pounds lighter, like this year, coming into this year's season. Like, a lot of people that's the guy they're excited about on this team. Like, they said he came in looking good and healthy and ready to roll.
He talked about getting that extra weight off his frame too, and he said it's been helpful for him.
Right.
Well, somebody who has weight taken off their frame recently, I can attest to that. You feel better. But I also remember there were reports of him saying, like, he doesn't like playing left tackle, and I'm just like, man, you got a chance to have a good year this year, and your life has changed. You're going to get a fat contract. Like, left tackles make a lot of money in this league, so hopefully he's ready to kind of seize that opportunity.
So I got a couple stats here, and last year, let's see, he in total gave up 22 pressures and 4 sacks in the games he was healthy and playing. The splits, though, 16 of those pressures and all 4 sacks were when he was playing right tackle. When he switched over to left tackle, just 6 total pressures, 0 sacks given up in 3 games. Got to mention those 3 games were with Jameis Winston at quarterback, and Jameis was not taking sacks at the rate, Deshaun Watson was. But, I mean, that kind of goes to this year. Like, if we get at least competent quarterback play, whether it's, a veteran like Joe or Kenny or whatever, who's not going to sit back there and just take sacks left and right, DeJuan could be serviceable at left tackle, or at least in a small sample size. He showed that he could be. Hopefully that pans out for a full season at that spot. We'll see, but definitely got to watch. A lot hinges on what he can do at left tackle.
So that's kind of our training camp preview. Before we wrap up, I had one more thing I wanted to ask you guys. I just remembered it. I saw who's the NFL reporter? He said something. I forget exactly who it was. Maybe you guys saw the quote too, and you'll be able to help me. But he said, despite everything, Deshaun Watson's still the most talented quarterback on this roster. Do you know
Albert Breer.
Albert Breer. And all I could think was, is he blind? Because this isn't 2020. I don't think there's any world in which he's the most talented quarterback on this roster.
I mean, he wasn't. We have Joe Flacco on this roster, and Joe Flacco was more talented than Deshaun Watson in 2023.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No.
Like, you may be the most physically gifted, but even the physically gifted part, you don't even know that anymore because he's torn his Achilles twice, and he's coming off the shoulder problem and his knee problems. I mean, we watched him run around last year. He looked slow.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And lost. So, like, for when he came out, I just feel like the national media sometimes, they just love to drum up drama about the Browns. Like, the Browns have done everything they can to basically be like, there's no way this guy's ever stepping on the field again. And now all of a sudden you have national media people coming out like, well, Deshaun's still out there. And, he is the best, the most talented quarterback on their roster. It's like, you don't know that we watched football the last couple of years, right? Like, what are you talking about? No, he's not. So I was curious if you guys saw that quote and what your thoughts were, because I'm like, what is this guy talking about?
I think Josh put a post up about it because I thought I read it, but so my thing is, I'm kind of with you. I think this is just national media stirring the pot. This is, we want to create a little bit of drama. It's getting a little boring. Hey, what if we decide, we just joked around about it like 3 weeks ago, and we're like, wait till Deshaun Watson's name get through in the mix into this quarterback carousel, and we're really talking about complete chaos. Now our max, guaranteed contract injured quarterback is also being thrown into this mix. To me, I'm still on I don't think Deshaun Watson plays a game for the Browns. I don't think you do any of the moves you did this offseason if that guy was in your plans. And then if he is in your plans, then I'm very much on the board with, we might be a dysfunctional organization and we don't know what the hell we're doing.
What about the good boy behind Josh? What does he think?
Oh, he agrees.
He said woof.
Wholeheartedly. Yep.
He said woof woof.
Oh, he's a good boy.
He's not.
I do want to, I have to talk to an expert with the salary cap. Maybe Jack Duffin would be a good source for this kind of thing. But I do know, I listened to a lot of what Albert Breer was saying when he made that quote. And he was talking about how the Browns can't just take Deshaun Watson and put him on IR if he is healthy enough, like physically able to play, because that'll be an NFLPA situation that they won't be able to avoid and could get him in some trouble. So he was talking about how it could get a little bit dicey, and I did agree that if that's the case, it would get dicey. That now you've got 4 quarterbacks on the roster that which one are we getting rid of? Which 3 are we keeping? And then you throw Deshaun Watson, who's eligible to be active. You can't cut him financially for the cap. You cannot just cut him and say we're keeping these guys. What do they do? Do you part ways with one of the other guys you do like because you don't want to waste the roster spot? It could get very interesting.
They're going to have to pay somebody to Tanya Harding him.
Oh my God, bro. Jesus. What the hell, bro? Oh my God.
Or maybe pay a doctor to not clear him. If I'm the Browns, I'm telling team doctors and Deshaun, I'm sitting them both down. I'm like, listen, you can't physically play this year.
Yes, I can.
Remember?
Did you see my Instagram videos?
No, yeah, no. And I'm giving him this, and no, you're not playing. You're just not getting. Your recovery is just not going as great as you thought it would this year, right? Right.
It just feels so messy. It feels so messy, and we're still like 2 months out from that. Because I guarantee you that's going to be a thing here in like 2 or 3 months. Especially the worst.
Mary Kay said something like he could potentially be healthy enough by October or something like that.
Yeah,
mid-November is kind of where they're.
That's a lot of season.
Yeah,
it is. Now,
especially if we're bad.
Yeah,
especially
Monday,
if we're bad.
When the veterans report to camp, which would probably be the day you're watching this, I'm sure, that'll come out that he was placed on PUP to start training camp, because that's what all the injured guys are placed on right away. So I'm sure that'll be how things start out.
Could you imagine, though, the vitriol if he steps foot onto the field in a home game for the Browns sometime later this year? Ugh.
Bro, I've been talking about this. I've been trying to.
I feel like Browns fans have, we've kind of finally had like a sigh of relief. Like, okay, that's done. We're putting it behind us. We've moved on. If they trot him back out there for a game, first of all, the boos will be in before he even takes a snap. And then imagine he throws one into the dirt or takes a sack or overthrows somebody or throws a pick. Oh my God. It'll be Bottlegate.
I can imagine it very well. I've got a lot of memories of those things happening.
Yeah.
It'll be terrible. So I think they have to think about that. Like, I know you don't want to make roster decisions and team decisions based on the emotions of what your fans are thinking and doing. But at the same time, like, there is a such thing as PR, and you don't want to like trot him in front of 70,000 Browns fans and just have people peppering the field with their garbage, because I just feel like that's going to happen if you trot him back out there.
It would definitely be ugly.
So, all right, let's wrap this thing up. I got some breakfast to eat. I got a kid to go play with. I got some books to read. I got a lot of things. I got a lot of dadding to do today. So we'll wrap this thing up. We appreciate you guys being here. We're super excited that we're finally, like, it's football time. We got training camp. We got Hall of Fame festivities right around the corner. Then next thing you know, it's preseason games. We're in the middle of a fantasy football dynasty draft right now, and the dog pack. So it's a good time right now. We're coming out of the darkness. We're stepping into the light. Football season is finally upon us. So we appreciate you guys sticking it out with us during a dark off season, making all these episodes fun, doing these lives. I feel like we kept the momentum going throughout the off seasons, and that's all because of you guys. So we appreciate you guys being here, checking out our episodes. Let us know who you guys are watching for in training camp this week and heading into the season. And we'll see you guys sometime next week when we probably recap everything we just talked about. Thanks again, and we'll see you guys later.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dogs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at the Dogs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedogspodcast.com.
This episode is brought to you by Baden Sports. Browns fans, it's summertime. Time to get outside and take advantage of the beautiful weather and play some backyard games. Head over to badensports.com, BADEN sports.com/dogs, and check out all their summertime gear. And for 10% off your entire order, just use promo code DOGS, DAWGS, when you check out. Now, if you guys love pickleball, Baden Sports has all the gear you need, including a variety of paddles, balls, and complete pickleball sets with a pack-and-go carry case so you can play in the backyard or take it on vacation to play with the entire family. Baden Sports also has volleyball and badminton sets, croquet, horseshoes, bocce, and even Vikings chess. And no summer break is complete without some good old-fashioned wiffle ball. Plus, Baden has all kinds of different basketballs with special outer layers that are designed specifically for whatever surface you'll be playing on. So don't waste 1 second this summer. Head to badensports.com/dogs to get the backyard outdoor gaming gear that your family needs and get 10% off your entire order with promo code DOGS, DAWGS, when you check out. That's badensports.com/dogs.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams July summer sale and get 30% off paints and stains July 18th through the 28th. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your interior or exterior, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store or shop the sale online. Delivery available on qualifying orders. Click the banner to learn more. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.